Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Amanda and today I did a very requested prom look for a bronze look. I didn't want something too smoky because I wanted it to be a very wearable bronze, and I think that this looks really nice, but then I of course needed my smokiness, so I smoked out the lower lash line, which of course you don't have to do if you want to keep it more of like a natural bronze. But yeah, I've had a lot of requests for like specific colored dress looks, like blue and green, and I think that this look will go with pretty much any like colored dress. It'll go with a lot of different dresses, and if you want to add a pop of color, your lower lash line is a great place to add a pop of color. You could add blue, purple, whatever, and it would look amazing. I also am testing out the Huda Beauty foundation today, so if you want to hear kind of like my first thoughts on that, then watch this video and you'll find out. But yeah, so if you're interested in finding out how I did this look and what I think of that foundation, then just keep on watching. Okay, so to start this look today, I'm actually gonna do my brows, and because I've done those on camera a million times, and I want the focus of this video to be on the eyes and on the foundation wear test, I'm just going to quickly do them off camera, so I will be right back. Okay, so I did my brows and I carved them out, and I put a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape on my lids because this is what I'm going to use to prime, so I'm just blending this out with my beauty sponge. I haven't talked very much in many of my other prom videos about why I do what I do, so that's why I'm doing this one as a talk through instead of a voiceover, so I can kind of express the reasons why I'm doing certain things the way I'm doing them. So the reason I prime my eyes with concealer instead of eye primer, either works. If you prefer to use an eyeshadow primer, then that's great. I personally just like to use my concealer because it creates a nice like clean slate, and it still is able to grip onto, like the shadows can still grip onto it. So I don't like to do it with every concealer, but I trust my Tarte Shape Tape, so definitely like know ahead of time what you want to do, and if you trust your concealer as an eyeshadow primer, and if you don't, then I would definitely for prom go with a real eyeshadow primer. I am using the Kathleen Lights X Morphe palette for today's video. I know that this is like gone, but the shades I'm using are all like very neutral common shades, so you could find them in a bunch of other different palettes, including like the Morphe 35O, like pretty much any palette that has warm neutrals, but I'm going to be using this one for today just because everything is kind of all in one. So I'm going to start by setting my lid with this shade right here, which I don't think they have names. I don't think they do, but I'm going to set it with that one. It's really important to set your primer, whether you use concealer or primer, because if you don't set it, it'll be like too sticky, and wherever you first place your shadow on top, that's where it's going to stick, so it won't be able to blend on top. So setting it with a nude or a bone colored shade, or even just a translucent powder, really helps the shadows to be able to stick and still be blendable. So I'm going for a more bronzed look today, but I want it to be like a soft bronze that's still like full glam. I don't know, it's hard to explain what I want, but I'm just gonna kind of go for it, and hopefully you can like see what I'm going for. So I'm just gonna go in with my ColourPop E2 brush, and I'm gonna go in with the lightest brown shade in here, which is just a nice neutral warm brown, and I'm gonna put that all throughout my crease and a lot in my outer corner. Actually, I don't know if I want to use, I don't want to use this brush for this part. I'm gonna use this brush instead. This is a, oh gosh, Quevange brush. I'll have it written down below. I'm gonna use this because it's a little fluffier, and I'm gonna put that in, yeah, there we go, in my crease and outer corner. And I am gonna kind of like bring the shadow upward instead of straight down, because I want to do a wing and I want the look to be kind of lifted, so that's kind of the look I'm going for. Okay, so now that I have that finished, I'm going to go in with that Morphe E2 brush, and I'm going to go in with this like pukey color. I know it's kind of gross, but it's really flattering on the eyes, so that's the color I'm going to go in. And I'm just going to deepen the outer V and a little bit of the crease, just a little bit more, but I'm not going to bring it the whole way in on my crease. I'm just going to focus it mainly in the outer portion. I brought it like about halfway across my lid because I am going to go in with one more deeper shade after this. And then going back in with that brush I was using before with no additional product, I'm just gonna make sure everything is nice and blended. This is the key. Honestly, this look is really easy as long as you just make sure everything is nice and blended. Like, you can't go wrong. Even if you are not good at makeup, you could most likely do this look because it's really not hard at all. And now I'm gonna use the exact same ColourPop E2 brush, and I'm gonna go in with this darker reddish brown shade. I'm gonna focus that right in the outer V just to deepen it up a little bit more. Not too much, but just a little bit. And once again, going back in and blending. And now for the lid shade. This is the star of the show. Pretty much any bronze will work. I'm going to use this one right here. It's more of a golden bronze, but on the lid it looks more bronze. And then if I want it to be darker, I might mix a little bit of this, but for now I'm just gonna go in with this shade right here. If you want it to be super pigmented, I would recommend using your finger. However, I'm going to use this, it's that same brand that I can't pronounce. It's just like a flat concealer brush. I'm going to use it and I'm going to spray it with my MAC Fix Plus, and that's how I'm going to apply it, but it applies just as well with Fix Plus as it does with your finger. As I get further and further down the lid towards the outer part, I'm going to just use little light tapping motions to kind of blend it in with those other shades, and then we're going to go back in and deepen it up again. But I haven't added any additional product. I just have what was already on my brush. Okay, now I decided I want it to get a little bit more bronze rather than this golden bronze. So I am gonna take this second shade and I'm gonna put it more in the center of my lid. I'm not using any Fix Plus or anything, just to kind of like blend it from gold to bronze to the matte shade. I'm gonna be going back and forth between those two shades until they're blended the way I want them to be. All right, and now with the first brush, again, I'm just gonna go in and blend. And then going back in with that ColourPop E2 brush, I'm going to go back in with the darkest shade and deepen up the outer corners again. And then one final time, I'm gonna go back and blend. And then with this white shade right here, I'm gonna go in and highlight my brow bone real quick. Not too intense, but I've been super into brow bone highlight lately. I say not too intense and then I do it very intense. It looks so nice though, I just can't help it. Oh, and I'm using the flat brush end of one of the Naked palette brushes. These are actually like really nice brushes. I just take them out of the palette and wash them and use them with my everyday, and they're actually really nice. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with some eyeliner, and first I'm going to use a pencil liner. I'm using the Lorac Front of the Line Pro Gel Eyeliner, and I'm going to tight line my eyes. This is not necessary, but I just think it makes your eyelashes look so much bigger, and I don't like when you can see like that inner waterline. Like, look at the difference. This eye just looks so much more awake and like, I don't know. I just really like the way this looks, but some people can't stand it. So it's really just personal preference. And now I'm gonna go in with my Ciate Fierce Flicks eyeliner, and I'm gonna do a wing. And now I'm gonna go in with my makeup wipe and just clean that all up. I almost always do this, even if I'm not fixing the wing. I always like to go in and just make sure that it's nice and sharp, and clean up any excess product that was below it. Okay, and now I'm gonna put on just a little bit of the Tarte Man-Eater mascara on my lashes, and then I'm going to go off camera and apply some fake ones. So I'm gonna go put on my fake lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just put on my lashes and I'm wearing the Tarte Man-Eater lashes, I believe is what they are. They came in like a set of stuff I got for Easter, and they're very nice, very big, very wispy. I love them so far. This one's kind of poking me a little. So I'm going to be testing out, like I said, a new foundation today, and I'm going to be testing the Huda Beauty foundation, and mine is in the shade Creme Brulee, which is 150G. I ordered it a little darker because I'm planning on I want to wear it for prom, for my real prom, and I'm planning on self-tanning, plus it's almost summer, so I'm gonna be a darker shade, so I just went with a slightly darker shade than my own, so ignore if it doesn't match me quite exactly today. But I also got a new primer from The Ordinary. It is their high adherence silicone primer, and I've tried this already and I really like it. But I'm not going to use it today because I want to give this foundation a fair shot, so I feel like I should use a primer that I already know works really well. So I'm going to be using the Laura Geller Spackle Tinted Primer in Champagne, and I'm just going to put that all over my face. So for this foundation, I am going to do half my face with a sponge and half with a brush, just so we can test both ways and see which way I like better. So first I'm going to go in with a brush, and I'm going to just use my Real Techniques foundation brush. So I'm going to take a couple pumps of this and just see how she works. Oh, color is actually not too bad. It's a little dark, but it has, like, I ordered one that had golden undertones because I have really yellow skin. It doesn't look like it, but like if you look at my neck, I have pretty yellow skin. It's actually a pretty good match so far. Not loving it with the brush. Like, it's definitely full coverage, but it's kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna end up going over this with the beauty blender, I can tell you right now. Okay, yeah, I'm not a fan with the brush. It just is like kind of patchy, and it's better once I blend it in. It just, like, it doesn't evenly distribute it. It could have been the brush I was using, but I don't usually have issues with that brush. I don't know. This is a super liquidy foundation though, so I feel like overall it would just go better with a beauty blender, because more liquidy foundations usually do better with a sponge than like creamy ones, which normally do better with a brush. So overall, like, I like it. It has really good coverage. It makes my skin look super, like, flawless. I mean, you can see the difference. I think it looks really nice. It's not clinging to any, like, dry spots or anything like that. I would say it is like a demi-matte finish, like matte but with like a natural glow, kind of. Definitely not like luminous, but it's also not like super drying matte. So I'm gonna do the other side of my face with just a sponge. Oh yeah, this is way better already. It does seem to oxidize slightly. Not bad at all, but just like ever so slightly. It's ever so slightly darker after you put it on. Nothing too bad though. Like, you can kind of see that it's much lighter when you first apply it than once it's kind of settled in. But it really like sinks into the skin nicely. Like, it doesn't look or feel like it's just sitting on top. It really like blended into the skin well, I think. On my skin at least. Okay, so far I'm liking this foundation, not gonna lie. Like, I think that it really is great coverage. I think it has a beautiful finish. So far so good. I'm a fan. So now I'm just gonna go in with my shape tape. I always say that wrong. But anyways, I'm just gonna put that under my eyes and on the high points of my face. And I'm actually gonna try blending this in with my IT Cosmetics concealer blurring brush and then go over it with a beauty sponge, because sometimes I feel like I don't get it where I want it to be with the sponge. So I'm just gonna blend it out with this first and then do further blending with the sponge. Okay, and now that I have it where I want it, I'm gonna blend it out with my beauty sponge. Okay, now I'm gonna set my whole face, and what am I using to set my face? I guess just because it's what, oh no. I'm gonna use my RCMA powder today. I was gonna use my Coty Airspun, but I think I wanna use my RCMA. So yeah, I'm just gonna use my little e.l.f. brush and set my face with my RCMA. I'm not gonna bake, I'm just gonna dust it today. I'm setting mainly the places where I put the concealer, but then I'm just gonna dust it very lightly over everywhere else, just because I have to give this foundation a fair shot, so I have to set it the way I would set any other foundation. So for bronzer, blush, and highlight today, I'm actually just gonna go in with the Urban Decay Naked Flushed palette, and I'm just gonna use these 3 shades. So I'm gonna start with the bronzer, and I'm actually gonna be using this Luxie 514 blush brush. I've just really been liking this for bronzer lately, so that's what I'm gonna use. Except I just washed it, and sometimes after I wash it, it's like, do you see that? It's like patchy, so maybe I won't use this one. Oh my gosh. That like took off the foundation. I have a hair. That like took off the foundation underneath. I think that's the brush that took the foundation. Okay, I'm gonna use a different brush because that one obviously is not working out. So I'm gonna use this e.l.f. tapered brush and hopefully this one will work better. I don't know. It's a little patchy. Oh, okay, it's not too bad. Once I like blend it out, it's just a little patchy. The foundation is breaking up around it. Okay, it doesn't look like there's I'm confused. It doesn't look like there's bronzer there. It literally just looks like it took the foundation off. No, foundation, don't do this to me. This brush is like fine. It's not the brush. It's not the bronzer either. We'll see if it does it on this side. Maybe it was just that first brush that kind of screwed us over on the other side. Oh yeah, see, it's not taking it off on this side. Okay, so note to self, don't bronze with your Luxie brush right after washing it. It gets kind of, every time I wash it, like I don't know what to do. It doesn't happen with any of my other brushes, but this brush gets like stiff and it like, it's patchy, but then after a while it loosens up, so I just gotta be careful of that. This foundation does look super nice though, and everywhere else except for over here, the bronzer's like blending into it really well. Like it's not just like awkwardly sitting on top, like everything is blending nicely. It's just this one area. I wish I hadn't tried to use that brush. But just to be safe and make sure everything's blended, I'm gonna go back over it with my powder brush. And then for blush, like I said, I'm gonna go in with this one and I'm just gonna use my Real Techniques blush brush. And this is a very bright blush, so I'm just gonna try and be really light-handed with it. I say, and then that never happens, but I just want a really light flush. Okay, that blended really well with the foundation. So far, I really like this foundation. I'm not gonna hold this against it because I seriously think that was the brush's fault, but so far everything else is laying really nicely on top and just like sinking in, and it looks really nice. So now I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M501 and use that middle highlight shade pretty much everywhere. If you can see though, I have a really nice like natural glow from this foundation. Like I don't have any highlight on, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a really nice natural looking glow going on, which I like. Okay, so to finish up my eyes, I'm going to do my waterline with that same eyeliner that we used before. And then with no additional product, I'm just gonna smudge it out with this e.l.f. small smudging brush. I just kind of want it to be like dark and smoky under there, so I don't really want to add black shadow, so I'm just smoking out the liner. And then I'm going to go in with that highlight shade that I used to highlight my brow bone and highlight my inner corner. Like, that is such a beautiful color. I'm just going to touch it. Ooh. Okay, don't get carried. Oh, I didn't put any on my cupid's bow. I'm just gonna put a little on my cupid's bow. And then I also want to contour my nose a little bit today, which this is absolutely not necessary. I just kind of like to do it. So I'm just going in with a tapered fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna use my same bronzer that I used before and contour my nose. Okay, and now quickly I'm gonna set my face with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And then for lips today, I'm gonna do a combo. So as my base, I'm gonna be using the Palladio X Casey Holmes Liquid Lip in Georgia, which is a really nice peachy shade. So I'm just gonna use that. And then on top of that, I'm gonna be using the Tarte Glossy Lip Paint, and this one is in the shade, does not have a shade name on it. It's this really pretty pinky nude color, so. Okay, so that is all for this makeup look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. This video was like my most requested prom look, like a bronze one that can go with pretty much any like colored dress. Pretty much any dress, I think, but yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any other video requests, let me know. If you remake this look or any of my other looks for prom or are inspired by any of them, make sure you send me pictures on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. I always have my social media linked down below and at the end of the video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.